After 3 weeks of tense bumper-to-bumper action, the Toyotas come home as we visit the rising sun for a 2-week trip. But it's not all about sunshine, sightseeing, or watching Nagoya Basho Sumo. We're here at the Okayama International Circuit for race night 4 of the RTA Virtual Motorsport GR86 Challenge, and it's all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello everyone, I am Craig King, and with me in the booth is Sebastian Holmichael. Behind the scenes is our director Daniel Costello, and he'll be using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Now, originally created as a playground for the wealthy, Okayama has been a staple in Japanese motorsport, with the likes of Super GT, the GT World Challenge, and the Formula Regional Series using it recently. So let's take a look at this track and see what makes it great.
Welcome to Okayama International Circuit. Located an hour's drive northeast of its titular city, it sits nestled among the green, lush hills in southern Japan. Built in 1990, it's most well known for the 2 visits Formula One made in 94 and 95. But since then, national and international touring car series have come to race here as well. Otherwise, the 2 available layouts are mostly used for club racing and amateur track days. The full course is just under 4 kilometers with 11 turns, and the short version is a measly 2 kilometers with 7 turns. It does this by cutting out the portion between Williams and Revolver. While hairpins abound throughout the lap, overtakes tend to be surprisingly hard. The first corner, Atwood Curve, and Hairpin are the main spots where drivers can attempt a traditional pass. Hairpin makes for unique battles though. The unusually steep banking for a road course, plus the switchback into Revolver, means that holding it around the outside can reward a brave driver. However, while it is a more modern facility, runoff in some places is shockingly small, and it can be easy to damage your car. This section in particular around Revolver, Piper, and Redmond gets slightly claustrophobic. The pit entry requires some practice since you must use the inside lane of Mike Knight, otherwise you'll get a penalty. While it might not see as much use in the real world, here on iRacing this track is part of the base content, and so new road racers will find themselves here frequently. With it being suitable for a wide range of styles of cars, it's sure to excite many of the competitors who tackle it.
Well, when you look at that aerial photo, you don't realize how tiny this track is. But Sebastian, what makes this track so great? Because it is a very fun track.
The greatness of this track, of course, is it's free in iRacing. Everyone knows it and knows it very well. Every meter, every corner, every exit. You drove this track in so many different cars in iRacing. And for me, this makes it very special because everyone has so much track time on it. And of course, in the history of the track, 2 F1 GPs did happen here, both won by Michael Schumacher in 1994 and 1995. We have 11 turns, we have 2.3 miles of circuit, and yeah, with the great English names, of course, that's also like a thing which the restructure of the track did happen. So new names for the corners in the, I think, mid-2010s.
Yeah, I do love how in most Japanese racetracks, it's first corner and last corner. I'm going to be brutally honest, it's one of my favorite things about this track. A lot of camber as well. So let's check out the championship standings because it's very tight at the top with Pete McCann currently leading things at the moment. Look at that, 138 points, 19 points behind Rory O'Shea. And Evan Walsh, McGoldrick, McClement are so tight together. Remember, there are 30 points on offer for the winner of each of the 3 races, a maximum of 90 points. So when you look at that gap between McCann and Walsh, that's nothing. That's not even that's just a race win. That could be all gone within one night, and they still have to take their drop weeks. Ian May as well, currently rounding out in 6th. Robert Moore will be taking 7th. Jamal Gandor just hasn't been able to capitalize after that great result at Willow Springs. He's in 8th there on 74, with John McDonald just behind in his first run in the main category on 75 points back, and Tony Stack on the 81 behind. That's the top 10. and it's a fantastic night here. We'll just go over the format before we have a little bit more of a talk before we go live. If you've never seen this series before, the first race, they're doing qualifying right now. We'll get to that shortly. First race is 15 minutes long. And then we get into race 2, the 10-minute sprint. It is madness in the best way. And of course, that's important because the top 8, they get reversed for the final race, 20 minutes long. And of course, drive-through penalties at 15x, disqualifications at 20. I think with some of these runoffs, Sebastian, we may see a driver or two have to take a drive-through.
Yeah, of course, could happen, because with the GR86, it's very close racing, and yeah, incidents may happen.
Yeah, incidents may happen as we get a lovely oversight of this track once again. And they have done a lot of drafting in the last few weeks, so it's going to be very interesting. Jordan Kelly currently out on top with 3 minutes 50 left, but here's Evan Walsh at the moment, currently sitting P5. He is very tight up there. In fact, the top 5 separated by 2/10, and the intervals are very tight at the moment. Evan Walsh comes out of the Williams and onto the Moss S. I would call the Moss S a bit of a straight in these Toyotas.
Basically in every car, I would say, because you can make a good position for the Edward curve, but in the end, it's going straight through there. Of course, if you're coming out too wide out of Williams, there is a little bit of tangle possible, or maybe like hitting the rear of somebody. And I have seen big crashes there in official racing. I won't think that we see that here tonight, but yeah, you can go straight through there like a knife through the butter.
Now, do not adjust your sets. Do not refresh your YouTube. That is saying 53 Celsius track temp, 128 Fahrenheit. I've never been on a track this hot before, and Peter McCann at the moment, he is driving hot into the hairpin corner. One of my favorite sections of this track, the camber of the hairpin corner, then into the revolver as we go on at the little drone. Into revolver he goes. That tightens up, and around you go into Piper. 2-3 brilliant corners there, and you can really set yourself up for an overtake there as you come down to the final little straight.
Yeah, this is the overtaking spot number 1, and also, of course, in the first corner.
Yeah, in the first corner as well as one of the overtaking, and the hairpin corner as well. Pete McCann then into the Mike Knight corner, and then of course the aforementioned last corner. Very tight sections here. He may have a chance to take this pole position. Has he taken an off track though? I don't think this is going to count. With 1 minute 38 left, he does not have time for another lap. He will cross the line. It's invalid. He stays P3. Jordan Kelly's up ahead. Chan Wing Fei is also out there at the moment, but he's not be able to get another lap in. I believe the last car that will get a lap in will be Jordan Kelly.
Yeah, fastest lap 1:45.46. Of course, the time is now running out.
Time is running out. Jordan Kelly here is our current leader. Does have time for another one. This would just be the exclamation mark on the qualifying. He's got the biggest gap out of the top 7. Everybody outside of the gap between Kelly and O'Shea is less than a tenth. It has been a very close qualifying. Takes the inside, takes all the outside, takes all the runoff, realizing as he uses the practice time where those extra bits of runoff here that you don't take the 1Xs. Around one more corner, Redmond corner. Again, you see in the clips a lot of side-by-side action in these last double hairpins. Known for the double hairpins is Okayama. Mike Knight with 25 seconds left. He's not going to do it.
Nope.
That will be the end of the qualifying as we run down quickly before they go. Yep, 20 seconds, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So as we just wait for the qualifying to end, and qualifying is now, Yep, there we go. It's now over. Tony Stack could not get a lap time in. Jordan Kelly does hold on to that P1. And it'll be Rory O'Shea side by side with him, followed by Peter McCann in third. And Jamal Gandor, he's getting that luck back in fourth. Evan Walsh will be fifth, and McGoldrick will take sixth. Hegarty seventh, Moore eighth. Dowling ninth. Chan Wing Fei will be 10th as we round up the first page, sorry.
Ian May on 11th, John McDonald on 12th, and until row 6 we are within 1 second with all the 12 drivers. Ronan Hederman on 13th, Albert Reed on 14th, Tony Stack on 15th, and Ronan Doherty on 16th.
Yep, and now all the drivers are just getting ready to grid up. We're just waiting for, I believe it might be Rory O'Shea, as we get ready for the traditional grid starts here. Some drivers have had some issues on the grid. Rory O'Shea is there. If we just wait for one more driver now. I thought it was just Rory O'Shea. It's Tony Stack we're waiting for now. Here we go, though. Everyone's on the grid. We're going to wait for the light. The countdown will go. Lights are on, and it will be green flag now. And it's going to be a very interesting start. Two slow starts by the leaders. A great start by the Mr. Sparkle there of Evan Walsh. Jordan Kelly's going to hold off the line at the moment. A little bit of slow starts. Meanwhile, Evan Walsh trying to find some line through. Does not get it. Look for Peter McCann. It's been cut off at the moment. And they're all going to take a side-by-side. Straight line. No side-by-side. A straight line as they head down to the Mosses.
And it looks like nothing has happened in the first corners, so everyone is still racing and racing tight now for the Edward Curve. I don't know how it will flash out with colder tires on this very hot track.
I think we just saw it with Gandor there. Gandor making a little bit of a slide. He's not had a good start. And I believe that Evan Walsh will be looking for this. McGoldrick, will be looking for this. I thought it was Evan Walsh. I got my cars wrong there. He had a little bit of an overlap. It's going to have to be a bit of a dive into the hairpin. Set yourself up for the hairpin. He cannot get it right. And it's all about momentum in this section.
Yes, of course, but he also backs out because he knows he will get his chance again. And the better chance will be in T1.
Meanwhile, in the backfield, you can see a nice little scrap there as we do see the initial D Toyota just having a go there. And we've got one car going slow. That's McDonald. Everyone's having a little bit of a way. McDonald is getting a little bit caught up in this battle here. Everybody is trying to jostle for position. I think a little bit of mistakes happen at that hairpin. It can stack everybody up. No pun intended for Tony Stack. He's doing fine back there. But meanwhile, Rory O'Shea leads them. Jordan Kelly leads them with Rory O'Shea and Peter McCann. We're going to go to a replay of what has happened on the first lap. This is that slow start by Robert Moore. You can just go to see, as you see the mistakes going on in the backfield, almost hitting the cones. Cones of people too, onto the grass, and loses it.
Oh, okay, so one did fly off the road, but no crash happened, which, was a problem for another driver. There's somebody is blinking on P2, and I have the feeling, I don't know, we lost somebody in Hobbs when he blinked and was vanished, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know that Rory O'Shea was blinking a little bit on the start line, but everything's looking fine and dandy. So it is for McGoldrick at the moment. Mr. Sparkles made his home coming here at Okayama, and he's going to have to do this around the outside. Now, if he can go around the outside, honor the hairpin, it means he gets a nice setup at Revolver. This could be crucial. Can he get this around the outside? Cool, calm. He's gone a bit too deep, though. Is there an overlap? There's no overlap. He'll try and force this. The more they battle, the more the guys at the front are starting to think, we're pretty fine here. They don't need to do anything else. McGoldrick has to fight another day.
Yeah, and the tires will get warmer and warmer, maybe too warm to fight in that style till the end of the race. I mean, it's a short race, but of course it's an intense race going, bumper to bumper into the first positions.
That's going to be one that they'll have to pay attention to. 53 Celsius. Every time I look at it, I still can't get over it. I'm thinking we're in America. No, we're in Japan. It's hot, hot, hot. Rory O'Shea is still trying to find a way past Jordan Kelly. He's going to look for any opportunity he can, but he knows he has to keep it safe. And just in the background there, you see Hegarty. He's going to be losing a position. No, he holds off there. That is the comedic inspired card there. And that's P6, P7, which is Gandor just ahead of them as well. That's a corner that's tough to make an overtake at the first corner because of the way it opens up. But at the same time, you've got to pick your battles.
Yes, of course, you need to fight your way into your opponent's mind, playing some mind games, showing yourself here and there to force a mistake, to overtake here. Of course, the cars are so tied together with their drivers. We have seen it like P1 to P8 within half a second in qualifying. So yeah, every mistake can be very, very costly, and we have seen the leaderboard, so every point counts.
Every point counts. Points mean prizes, and what do the people win? A championship. Rory O'Shea still looking, and just for that information, it's gotten cooler by 1 whole Celsius there, ladies and gentlemen. So just keep on and just wait. Rory O'Shea still looking. He knows he doesn't have to be aggressive. McCann's in the background. He doesn't have to push. McCann's not going to push. They realize if they just wait their time, pull ahead, 9.5 minutes and some change left in the race, they can do things later. They like to play this at the start of these races. Sometimes they'll allow the likes of Kelly to win the first race to just set themselves up for the later races. And the backfield again, you see that too wide again. Gandor will take the inside this time. Hegarty will take the outside.
And you could see how his nose dips in while braking. And also here a great battle with 3 drivers fighting still for, I think, the chance for the top 10.
Yeah, that's the 11th, that's Hederman, and that's McDonald as well. And you can just see the Potato Nation car trying to do what he can. No Lawrence de Sosa this week, unfortunately. And he's going to try it at the Moss, after the Moss, into that Atwood curve. Hederman on at that defense. Rear wing camera we go. He looks left, he looks right. Where's he going to go? Where can John McDonald go for this overtake?
You shouldn't underestimate the draft in this Toyota. But he tries it for the outside, so maybe he can get the good run into the revolver.
Tries the outside. Look like it. Yeah, he's tried the outside. It's not worked for him. He's on a little bit of pressure himself now as he goes for that. And he can't do it. You see up ahead a nice little battle going on. Adam Dowling and Rowan Doherty there side by side. Doherty, the green car, he's going to make a little lunge into Redmond. He's made it stick. Does that allow someone else to come through? Ian May's looking at it. He goes a little bit wide. It's all about momentum in those final corners of this lap.
But one thing to point out, this race is a great advertisement for this league. So everyone who loves to drive the Toyota should come here when you see this clean racing here in Okayama.
It's clean, it's respectful, and it's clean, respectful, and of course at the end of the day, that's what you want. Evan Walsh finally getting past McGoldrick. He makes those positions up. He's now been free. Can he get going? Adam Dowling's not going to go anywhere though at the moment. He goes off at the first corner a little bit too hard, and behind McDonald is going to be fighting again with Herdeman. And can he get onto this? He cannot. And it just seems the case at the moment that while we've got the respectful driving, Sebastian, it does feel like these drivers just can't find their way around.
Yeah, that's the point, but there's the mistake. It was forced and it did happen and did already cost 2 positions.
Yeah, and Hegarty's going to go now. This is Hegarty. We were just looking. He's just lost a position. The Doherty had a bit of a slipstream from Gandor. Now, surely we're not going to see him move around the outside. All that good work he's done almost gone to waste. Now he's going to have to be on the defense to Hegarty. Hegarty almost clipping McGrath before braking there as they come out of the Piper corner into Redmond. Just Look how wide they're pushing this car at the moment. Hegarty now losing time to Gandor and Dotahi. Dotahi, those going to go for that send again. They touch together, and they could be side by side. They head to the end of the lap.
Gloves off, I would say. So the respectful full driving goes into the shelf, but yeah, the fighting gets more and more intense. It is for the big points, so yeah, let's see how this unfolds.
Exactly, let's see how it goes. Dotahi, the biggest gainer of the race, 9. Can he make it 10? Gandor, one of the loose ones, but the leader at the front. We got to go to the lead because Rory O'Shea finally trying to get past Jordan Kelly. It's not going at the moment. He's going there. Meanwhile, that rate battle we were looking at, there was a big crash. We'll get back to that later. We got to keep our eyes on this though, with Rory O'Shea still pushing on Jordan Kelly.
Yeah, what a great battle in the front for the lead of the race. A victory always is the goal for every racer, and they have the distance to P3 to duke it out on the course in every corner.
Yeah, they have that distance. They have that freedom to go. They're going to try their best. This could be where Jordan Kelly is under fire. Rory O'Shea again tries that outside. Can he get the cut back? He can't. The line is compromised. He's going to try it again. They come down to Revolver. Over the Gopher Cam they go. Nowhere to go. Wide a little bit there by Kelly, but he manages to hold on. He's using all the track length at the moment. This is where we've seen a lot of surprise moves, but no. Rory O'Shea decides it's not worth it. Less than 5 minutes left in this race. Where does Rory O'Shea make this move?
I think he will wait until the last lap and then go into the hairpin, into Redman, to make it to the line.
Yeah, Redman, it could be Redman, it could be the first corner. If he gets a really good last corner, he might be able to get this. And now you see the run. The defense is on now for Jordan Kelly. He takes the inside line. He's almost at the pit wall. And Rory O'Shea's going to try this. This will have to be a nice move around the outside. Blocked. Lovely defense there by Jordan Kelly. But has he set it up too early? Into Williams they go. Again, great defense. This is what you want when you're leading.
Yes, of course. He makes it tight. Compromises the line of P2.
Yeah, compromises that line. We're going to have a quick look at that replay. This was Ronan Dotahi. I was talking about trying to get my words out. Just a little bit of a tap there. I think he just went in a bit too deep on the braking, and Gandor had nowhere else to go. And unfortunately for him, that was his race done. Rory O'Shea, take number 5. He tries to make that move. He can't. Gandor, he makes the move though, and he can. These three have been duking it out for quite a while.
Yeah, turning and braking didn't work together there in T1 with the crash, but I hope this is the only one. No!
It's almost like it has just happened. Gandor, it happened to him by accident on the first time, and it's almost like the racing gods have decided that what you get, that's not what we want to see though. That's an honest mistake by the drivers. They're not trying to take anybody. They are trying to race hard and clean. And unfortunately for Gandor, that is not where he wants to be. Facing backward, he gets it back going, but now he's in P10. He's going to have to try and do a very quick recovery drive with just 2 laps to go after he crosses the line.
This will be a very short and difficult recovery drive, of course. And the tight racing, of course, leads to these situations here in the Toyota.
Evan Walsh has been battling McGoldrick all race. He lost that position. He got that position away from Walsh earlier in the race, and now he's trying to get it back. It's Walsh on the rear wing. We go around that Williams, that sweeping left. Probably the fastest corner of the lap. I'm not entirely sure. Following down into the Moss, and now up to the upward curve. It gets higher up and higher up, so you want to make sure you don't take too low of a gear. Shouldn't matter too much in these Toyotas with the grip they've got, but he's looking for his penultimate attempt into the hairpin corner. Can he make it? It's going to be tough, but if he doesn't, he still has other opportunities.
Yeah, but Now with the draft, he's coming closer and closer and maybe thinking and preparing for his chance to take P4.
You could see when he was braking there, a little dip of the car, the nose going forward. He decided to just hold back a little bit, keep it safe. At the end of the day, he might be happy with a P5. Tony Stack wants some more, though. He's going to try and get around, but again, tries to move around the outside. Has not worked. I don't think we've seen anybody make a move around the outside so far today. Albert Reed as well, trying to capitalize on that, was unable to. Up ahead, though, I believe we do have Ian May battling still with Sean Hegarty. Ian May finally gets by. Hegarty almost made the move, though, and you can just see, again, Hobbs corner into Mike Knight. It's so tough to make the position and hold it.
Yeah, you are one time on the outside, one time on the inside. That's pretty difficult in these cars.
The final lap of the first race, and they are still battling. And Rory O'Shea decides he wants to try and find a line. Try to take the outside into Williams. It was not available. Now he's got a nice run into Ross corner. And here it comes. Side by side they go. But the inside again belongs to Jordan Kelly. And he's almost going to be squeezed here as they go around. And now, is this a chance for an over-under for Rory O'Shea? This would be fantastic, but has he gone too early? To the DRS line they go. He's going to look for a move. He's going to look for any tarmac he can. There's nowhere to go. This is going to have to be a move around the outside.
Yeah, he has to, but he has to make it narrow, but he goes to the left side of the track. Maybe he should have make him stuck on the inside. Oh, now he's gone, but he's back.
Yeah, he's trying to go on the inside and look at the defense there. Kelly knows he's under pressure. A little bit of a bump. That's O'Shea saying, let's get going, let's get going. Again, lifts off. Goes for a nice move. He almost gets it. He's have to go around the outside. Brilliant defense again by Kelly. And the outside here for Redmond Corner will be crucial. If he can hold this on the outside of Redmond Corner, he'll get it for Hobbs. He does not. He's going to have to try and do the outside for Hobbs, or he's going to have to do an over-under. Here he goes, the last corner coming up right now. This is all going to be there. We could see a sprint to the line, and Jordan Kelly will go for this. Rory O'Shea will go for this as well. And I believe with that last moment, Jordan Kelly may just hold on. Let's hold on to your horses, though. We see the checkered flag. It's a long straight before it. But Jordan Kelly holds on by 2 tenths to Rory O'Shea.
Yeah, Rory O'Shea tried like the Voyager drone, make a swing by around Saturn there, but it wasn't enough for the speed on the main straight.
Sean Haggerty getting by Ian May, and he comes by as well. You start to see the end of the first race with Jordan Kelly taking it away from Rory O'Shea. And then Peter McCann will then take P3. Sean McGoldrick will take 4th. Evan Walsh 5th. Sean Hegarty will be 6th. Ian May will be 7th. Adam Dowling will take 8th. John McDonald 9th. And Jamal Gandor will take 10th. As we get ready to re-rack them for the second race. Sebastian, I don't know if you know anything about 10-minute races, but hold on to yourself. This is going to be a wild one.
Every corner counts more than ever in such a short race.
Exactly, and that's the key thing. That was 8 laps they did that time. So let's cut that by a third. We're going to be looking at 5, maybe 6 laps this time by. Jordan Kelly will get ready to lead them off. Jordan Kelly will be the main man once again. And you can start to see it's cooling down. It's still 51 Celsius. I wouldn't want to be out there at the moment with an air temp of 30 Celsius, 85 Fahrenheit. But at the end of the day, if it's warm enough for you, it's warm enough for racing. And I think this is where you could cook an egg. I think it's still a little bit cold. We wait for some of the last cars to get going for the 10-minute sprint. Remember, Kelly and O'Shea, can they repeat what they just did in the first race? 6 laps it's going to be as we get ready to calm it all down once again. The lights,
I must say, if it's just
gone.
6 laps, I would go deep into T1.
Deep into T1, it's going to be interesting. The lights go red and we'll wait for them to go green. And green flag, and it's a bad start for Kelly, but a nice one for O'Shea. And straight away. Kelly's having to hold off, but there's going to be a little bit, no more space there. And this is O'Shea's best chance to take the lead. Into the turn one they go. It's still side by side behind as well. With McGoldrick getting ahead of McCann. Into Williams they go. Everyone's still going. Almost 3 wide. And around goes. And he holds it in drift style.
Nice drift and no big one in the back due to that.
Still got this as well as everyone's coming to go by. It's not looking good for McGoldrick. He's trying to find his way, and 3 wide almost in, and there's big chaos, and 2 cars go around. McGoldrick gets caught in it, and that's just what we expected. That was Haggerty going around. We knew it was going to be a little bit hectic at the start of this race, and unfortunately that's what's gone. It's 3 wide as they come down that backstretch, and at the front it is side by side. O'Shea again trying for this around the outside at the hairpin corner. I mean, I'd love to see someone pull it off tonight, Sebastian, but no one's been able to make that move around the outside.
No, not with the car in front. Also, like, yeah, compromising the line, going wide there, and not giving him any chance to run there. But there's also another crash in the back in the midfield.
Yeah,
I think it was
Ian
May.
Yeah, Ian May's gone around as well. He's had a little moment. He's just waiting for everybody to get by, and that's what he's done. Just going to do a very tricky 1-point turn. Gets it done. There's Tony Stack. Here's Albert Reed facing Gandor. Gandor's trying to take a joker lap, and he's going to meet the wall. Nope, he holds on to it. Very interesting moment there, but still, we keep on going. Rory O'Shea, again, making this. Now, Sebastian, you were right. Send it deep into turn 1. I think Kelly last lap just went a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it could be. Elbows up in this super sprint format, of course.
I love that. I've never used that. I'm going to use that again. I'm stealing that for next time by when we get to Tsukuba Circuit next week. It's going to be a super sprint, and it's going to be a super heroic kit, because all of a sudden, Kelly knows what O'Shea wants to do. O'Shea knows what Kelly wants to do. This is the time of the race that now you're going to start thinking, can I do something different? And I'm not sure what you can do different around this track. But anyway, let's just have a quick replay of what's happened at the start of this race. This is Tony Stack, and you can start to see it was very chaotic. I think there was a little tap. Yeah, he just gets caught in the back there. I think he taps the back bumper, and that spins him around there, just locking up and then having to try and hold it. And that was what caused the whole shebang at the start of that race. Not what we saw as well with the likes of Hegarty going around. But Kelly's here going by. Like I said, what can you do different that you've done for the first 20 minutes of this evening just to spook the leaders trying to make that overtake?
Yeah, well, you can mislead him, like doing it every time again, but then find the sweet spot, the, I don't know, shatter point of the car in front to pull a move he didn't expect. But maybe you double trick yourself and both go into the gravel, maybe.
Yeah, I've always thought, how about just not taking the slipstream and just baiting them? I've always thought about that, but it's very risky, as meanwhile Evan Welsh takes one of the fastest laps of the evening as we go to another replay of what we've seen earlier in this race with a very chaotic start to the race. This was Ian May. Caught the grass. We've all done it before. It's so tough there, especially when you go tarmac on that runoff where the track meets with that short section there, the short layout, to go to grass. Anyone can get caught out by the grass there.
But he made a nice stop and waited for the traffic, so no unsafe rejoin. I always like to see that.
Yeah, unfortunately it does put him down, and he's struggling to find the position to get up there. Top 8, of course, remember, reverse the grid. Sean McGoldrick is currently sitting in that P8 there. He's lost 4 places at the start of this race, but a nice little recovery after that little moment at the start of the race. And there in front of him will be Hederman, and if he can just find his way, it will be all so good. Hederman making 4 places up on the start. McGoldrick making 4 places down on the start. And they're all bunched up, 4 ducks in a row. And just behind, hello, a little bit of a weave. Just behind them is one more trying to join the fray. It's Robert Moore right behind. Tries to make the move here. gonna get it going side by side, and I don't think he'll be able to hold this. So tough to even make an overtake at the red corner.
Makes him run wide, so he gets the position. Sean Goldrick now in P7.
Brilliant little move there. Yeah, you just got to hold yourself there. If you try to go inside, you've got to make sure you capitalize on that run to get the outside. Jordan Kelly is, I was saying he was the fastest lap, and then all of a sudden Rory O'Shea said, you're the fastest lap, I'm right behind you. I'm going to take the fastest lap. It's now the green machine of Dotahi. He's using all the track and more to make that move, and he's going to go up past Albert Reid. A nice little move there. It's a little bit of Tony Khan-esque from the Indy 500. He gets it done. He's up to Tev. I'm going to say he's about 6 seconds away from the rest of the field. It's going to be tough for him to get into the top 8 for the reverse grid. That reverse grid is going to really upset the apple cart when we go into the feature.
It's always nice to have a reverse grid for the final race. It spices all the things up we want to see here in sim racing. And also with these 3 formats here tonight, you have different approaches to the race. It's very interesting to see. And also, I guess, very interesting for the drivers.
Yeah, it's a very nice refresh for the drivers as Kelly, he knows that he's had 1 race battling Rory O'Shea. He's going to have a 2nd race. Now he's been battling O'Shea. And maybe if they both work their way up quickly through the field in the feature, they'll have another race where they'll be fighting each other. But anything can happen in that feature race. There's now still 3 minutes left in this race. Rory O'Shea looking for any move he can. He's too far away at the moment. Kick up of the dust. Behind them, you see Evan Walsh and Pete McCann. Same situation. The gaps at the moment are not there. I think they're just waiting out for the right moment.
If I'm in P3 or P4, I would, stay together, work together to maybe get closer to P1 and P2.
I think you've got to. Oh, hell, a mistake there. I just saw a mistake from Kelly. It's not going to hinder him going a little bit wide on the exit of Williams. And there you see both sets of cars. We're in peloton racing at the moment, 2 breakaway groups. Rory O'Shea trying to look, and just look at that there. He goes a little bit hot in. He tries to make a move, couldn't get it. He just went a bit too hot, misses out on the apex. You've got to hold on to that apex with the way that corner just banks up the hill. Unable to. He's not going to make a move here, but maybe he's just now planning. We have seen this before by some of the drivers. They like to plan out their moves, and sometimes this may just be a test run for what he wants to do later.
And maybe we see here more than a test run now with Sean Haggerty. They are already too wide.
Yeah, too wide there is Haggerty and Reid, and I believe that is going to be Haggerty getting that position away from Reid. Like I said, a very interesting Father Ted Toyota car there, managing to pull ahead and just getting there. Nice little recovery going on by Haggerty. Remember, he lost 5 places from the start of this race after what happened. Pete McCann is trying to gain his 1 place back from Evan Walsh, who made up 2 at the start of this race. It's not looking so good. The hot seat belongs to Evan Walsh at the moment. Would not want to be in that car right now. I don't like defending at the best of times, and Japan is known for the long straights. And this is what you're experiencing right now as McCann just can't make a move so far on Evan Walsh.
Yeah, but he's waiting. He's like the shark in the water, and he's smelling the blood. So I think he's quite testing it out. But it's the final lap, so no more testing. Now he has to push it through somewhere. So there are just a couple of corners left, but all corners are good for a go.
Corners are good for go, and it's not just a Shark Tank. We're in the home of sushi, and it looks like they may be looking to try and pick themselves up something from the local sushi restaurant. McCann trying to look for the move. Rory O'Shea again trying to do this around the outside and failing. I counted that the 3rd time this race and just been unable to. Evan Walsh pulling out ahead of Peter McCann in the background. Kelly now with just a few more corners left to go. This is the final lap, remember, so we have to be careful. You don't want to make any mistakes here, O'Shea. What has he got left? Is it going to be a drag race again to the line? A small mistake, going a little bit hot there into the Redmond corner, setting himself up. The gap isn't closing enough to set himself up. Hobbs, it's still there. Can he get the run into Mike Knight? This is going to be vital. Mike Knight, they go. Is there any gap then? The 30 air is not helping him. Kelly to the last corner for the second time. It's going to be Kelly taking a race. He's 2 from 2 from the night. As we get ready for the feature race, Kelly from O'Shea, and Evan Walsh is going to back them up into P3.
It's super close racing, super fair, no mistakes in the front, and that secures the position. But here, no pass possible.
No, that's very close there. That was for the P8, though, of course, very important. Hederman will take P8 and get that first spot. McDonald got 6th, and McGoldrick was 7th. The results are, though, but Jordan Kelly, again, taking the win. Rory O'Shea will be P2. Those two, they started in those positions and finished in those positions. The only ones who did that. Evan Walsh will take 3rd, and Pete McCann will be 4th. And there's Adam Dowling in 5th. John McDonald will take a very good 6th. Sean McGoldrick recovers to 7th. Ronan Hederman 8th. Robert Moore will take the 9th, and Ronan Doherty will take 10th. So Hederman will lead them away for the start of next race, with McGoldrick on the front row with him, which could be very interesting. But we do have some quick interviews, I believe. We believe we're going to have, first of all, I'm just going to walk down and I'm going to find myself a Jordan Kelly. And Mr. Kelly, it looks like you're having a little bit of a battle on your hand there with Rory O'Shea in those two races.
Yeah, that last lap in that first race was that was good. That was good fun. Rory, fair play, was a good fair battle, like, and it could have went either way really. No, but fair play to Rory, and no, hopefully we can keep it going for the third race. But no, happy to get the 2 1s in the first race.
Yeah, 2 P1s, of course, for you. And of course, one thing I like about this track, it's the back-to-back hairpins. It makes it really hard to make the overtake. So how have you been setting up for defenses during this race?
You just have to hold inside where you can, but you hold inside, you're nearly losing like 3 or 4 tenths a corner, so like you're always going to be on the back foot once you start defending, if you know what I mean. So you kind of try not to defend as much, or if you don't need to defend, because it's just going to cost you so much time. So just trying to like choose when to and when not to, and it seems to be working so far. But it's been good battling with Rory, so hopefully we can keep it going now and have another clean race, not like last week. And I've finally figured out the starts in these cars, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, Jordan Kelly, if you missed it last week, losing out on both starts last week. We hope to see some more battling with you and Rory going through the field. So go well in your final race of the night, Jordan. We look forward to seeing you out on the track. So we go from the winners of Jordan Kelly for the first 2 races. And I believe we're going to have Rory O'Shea. O'Shea's going to be joining Sebastian in the paddock, and they're there right now.
Yeah, Rory, how did you feel after your races for tonight? I mean, the super sprint, super intense, and now you have the chance once more to take big points here tonight.
I feel good so far. I've gotten a pretty good points haul, but of course I would like to try and get past Jordan. He's been just out of reach for the first 2 races, but I'm hoping now maybe in the longer race some tyre wear and some stuff like that comes into play a little bit more, so might help you get past.
Yeah, but maybe some more elbows up, is that a solution, or is it the fun which is more important for racing against him?
Well, I think we'll definitely have to get my elbows out more, like especially with the first good race. Obviously it's so fun racing Jordan, he's so clean and so good, like, but definitely starting from 7th now, I'm really gonna have to get the elbows out.
Yeah, I wish you, of course, good luck for that. So I hope it will work out, and I hope nobody crashes here in the final race.
Yeah, of course, thank you.
Well, that was Rory O'Shea, 2 P2s, and then we can just get quickly, before he gets in the car, we can get Evan Walsh in, who had a P5 and a P3. Evan, that was a fantastic start to that second race there, putting you up 2 places to hold on to a very crucial P3.
Yeah, good race. I nearly threw it all away at one point. Peter made a mistake actually behind me, and I was too busy thinking about that, and I nearly went off, and I think it was turn 4 or 5, but yeah, it was a good start to be fair, and I was trying to stick with Rory and Jordan, but they were just a little bit too fast, and once they broke the toe, I couldn't do anything then. It was just trying to hold on to third then at that point.
Yeah, I asked Jordan about defending. I'm going to ask you as well, Evan. What makes it tough about defending around here? Because remember, you've got back-to-back hairpins. How do you set yourself up for defending on this track?
I think the biggest thing is really just being smooth, because I find if you're trying to defend too much and would say try and leave your braking as deep as you can, the traction control tends to kick in and really ruin your momentum, and it's a lot easier for the car behind you to get past if you make the mistake, I suppose. But yeah, it's fun other than that, I suppose.
Well, I think we've got time for one more question. I'm going to ask you, because you're going to be starting on that row ahead of those two. So we know you're very good at the starts. We've seen that in the last 2 races. You're going to be playing it safe on this at the start of this feature race?
I'll see if I can get past maybe another couple of cars in front off the start and try and push a little bit. But if Jordan and Rory are kind of catching me, I'm not going to be able to keep them behind me for long. So at that point, I think it'll just be try and hang on and recover as good a position as I can.
Well, Evan, go well in the final race. You'll be starting in P6 after a 3rd place in the second race. That is Evan Walsh. That is our top 3 from the constellation, otherwise known as the Super Sprinters, we're now calling it. We're about to get ready for the feature. 20 minutes, Sebastian. What's the crucial thing for this final race?
I think the most crucial and most interesting for the viewers and drivers is the reverse top 8. Because if you are now in the front, so you had P8 in the last in the super sprint, if you can make it to hold some slower drivers, I say that with all the respect I have for all the drivers, but if you can put them between yourself and the faster drivers, you have a good chance to be on the podium.
Well, we're going to get ready for the grid, and Ronan Hederman will be leading them off for this race. And then in P2 beside him will be Sean McGoldrick. John McDonald will take 3rd. Adam Dowling will be 4th. Peter McCann 5th. Evan Walsh 6th. Rory O'Shea will be 7th. Jordan Kelly will be 8th in that reverse. Then Robert Moore 9th. Ronan Doherty 10th on at the first page. And very quickly, as we head down to that second page, we're going to see it's Hegarty, followed by Reed, followed by May. Jamal Gandor 14th. Tony Stack 15th. Chan Wing Fei will be 16th. And I've gone very fast, mainly because I know myself and Daniel, for 2 weeks in a row, have missed the start almost for this grid. We're not going to get it wrong this time. The lights are getting ready. And we wait for the green. I'll tell you what, we've timed this to perfection. Green flag, they go again. It's a slow start from Hederman. Brilliant start from McGoldrick. Another slow start up ahead as well. They're all battling out. Pete McCann with a bad start. Adam Dowling with a bad start. Into the first corner they go. It is all traffic as they get into the first corner. McGoldrick, Hederman, watch out for Walsh. He's going to make a move here. That's McDonald making a move on Walsh. Where do you look at the moment? A very scrappy start. Everyone is in different positions.
And here comes the first big crash zone, I would say, in the advert curve. Could be a possibility, but it all works out fine. And Mr. Sparkle is leading the race.
Yeah, Mr. Sparkle is leading. McGoldrick's leading. Rory O'Shea has already made up 4 positions, and he's on the back of Hederman straight away. Evan Walsh as well. He is looking as well for some moves. He's going to go, look at this. We're 2 by 2 going down the back straight. Jordan Kelly's trying to follow through. He almost makes a twitch. Brilliant moves there. He gets by. Rory O'Shea just almost in front of him as well. They're all slicing and dicing. There's only one man happy at the moment, and that's the man in a pink car with a Simpsons head on it, and that is Sean McGoldrick.
Yeah, as it's called in Germany, Mr. Glanz. So, yeah, we are now in a very, very interesting phase of the race when the top 8 are piling up. Different speeds of the drivers come into play. But, yeah, O'Shea is managing that very, very good. It's already in P2.
Yeah, O'Shea taking that Hederman, looking for a move. He cannot make it. We're going to see some people try to swing out and make an overtake here. Look in the background. First one to make it is Pete McCann, trying to get past John McDonald, and he'll make that as well. Nobody else goes. In a race where we usually talk about the drivers taking it easy at the start in this sprint race, that it might be one of the craziest race starts with so many drivers getting the grid launch wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult in the Toyota to have a very, very good start, and it's pretty easy to mess it up.
And we have seen that quite a lot. Jordan Kelly, though, we talk about the bad starts. Jordan Kelly was one that got it right. Ronan Doherty, he's now getting it right. He was the man that didn't get a reverse grid start. He's already up to P8, and he will have Adam Dowling right behind him, and more as well. Look how bunched up everybody is. Evan Welch, now he's going to try and take this, and inside he goes. All the cars, the teammates working and fighting together. It's very tough out there, almost coming together. Welch holding on, Hederman and Kelly all together. Kelly's going to make a rare move, and that is a rare move around Piper Corner. Could not get it done.
But of course, the gap gets wider and wider. There were 3 cars so close together. Now, yeah, one uses this opportunity where they went too wide to move over. Yeah, to create a little gap.
Tell you what, Sean McGoldrick will be loving this because he just sees himself in a nice position to try and get some points. He won in the feature race last week at Lime Rock, and he knows all about it. Haggerty as well, just in the background, he's looking for some moves. Everyone's still looking for some moves. It feels like even though we had that massive chaos at the start, I think a lot of drivers are still out of the positions.
Yeah, that's right, because it's so difficult to overtake. If somebody in front of you is, compromising your line, the horsepowers are not like in GT3 cars, so yeah, it's more driver thing.
Yeah, McCann just getting a bit too hot in the corner, tapping the back of McDonald, and I believe he yielded to make sure he didn't take that on the advantage. But now it's all very scrappy. You've got McDonald in the Potato Nation. The black car on the left is going to be McCann. Behind him is Robert Moore. Ronan Doherty's in the green car. Are we going to see some free wide here? Almost free wide. Decides against it. And don't tell me McCann's going to finally make a move around the outside of the hairpin corner. He is, He gets that done into Piper. Just like that. Fantastic. And a position up ahead as well as Kelly gets past Hederman.
Yeah, that's crucial for Kelly to maybe close the gap to Walsh to have another position and be right behind O'Shea.
Gets that going. He needs to catch up to O'Shea for championship implications. And this little scrap here is still going on. McDonald is trying to hold on. We've got Ian May going round in the background. Tony Stack is gone as well. And I believe that's one more driver as well. And that is Reed as well. So 3 cars all getting caught out at the very tough Hubs corner.
Yeah, they stacked up a little.
Yeah, Tony Stack as well. Unfortunately, he is not having a good lucky move. McCann trying to make this now, and he can't get it. Everyone, I think now, just having a little bit of calm out there. We've had 6 minutes in this 20-minute race. Everyone's just starting to calm down a bit, but McGoldrick and O'Shea are way ahead of everybody. Let's not put the cameras on them. Nothing's happening up front. These guys at the moment, they're looking for the moves. Is there gonna be a move into the outward curve? Maybe Robert Moore gets a bit of a run, you just see in the background, but I can't see anybody else getting this done. Moore will look for this. He won't. Instead, Haggerty will. But straight ahead, more action as well. Ronan Doherty there. He's got to try and take the outside.
Yeah, that is getting pretty close, and I love how the cars are moving here when braking and going around the corners. So, yeah, that's pretty intense for the drivers, but that's the great fun about the Toyota and Okayama.
I'll tell you what, elbows out there, and he made that on McCann. And there was me moaning about nobody around the outside. Let's take a quick replay of what we've seen at the start of this race. This was the Ian May incident at Hobbs Corner. And just a little tap on the inside. It's oh so easy to do. Candor just getting by it. Wing Fei just getting by it as well. And those three other drivers getting caught up there. Thankfully, when we talk about the respect of this series, the drivers all kept those brakes locked and there was no rolling cars.
Yeah, that's the most important thing in every grid, in every race. But it's still the positions didn't... Yeah, it looks like they played out now with the reverse grid. In the front, yeah, the P1, P2 gap is melting, I think, if I'm not mistaken, by 4/10 a lap. So next lap could be a little attack time for O'Shea.
Yeah, we'll look for that attack. We were watching this nice little battle between the two Ronins, and all of a sudden Pete McCann's decided, hey, can I have a go in this? My name's not Ronin, but I still want in on this. And John McDonald's going, you know what? I'm not called Ronin. I'd like to go in this as well. They can't get it going, but McDonald's getting past McCann. And look at this. These 6 cars are having one hell of a scrap at the moment. Doherty in the green's going to have to do this around the outside. More drivers looking for moves as well. McCann and McDonald, they're going to try and do this. McCann, he may get another move around the outside. He's gone in too hard, but maybe can Doherty do this? He cannot. A little bit of touching in the backfield there from McCann. He can't hold on, but they go off. A little bit of side by side. Fantastic. 2 cars in front almost going together and spinning. This is very chaotic. It is traffic here at Okayama.
It looks very trafficy because also he did catch the grass on the outside, but then could hold the car even with a little contact with the rival.
Yeah, Doherty there catching the grass, and everyone is all together. Look at this. This is from 5th all the way down to 12th. And that is just one hell of a queue of cars. Wide goes McCann. He may be losing out here, but Henneman having to take all the defense he can. Doherty with this great run here. He's going to have to do it around the outside in the first corner. I don't think he's going to do it. He's setting himself up and almost coming together. And that's Henneman going together. It looked to me like he was trying to do the cutback, and I think he just had a bit more speed.
Yeah, a little too much cutback into the back of the car in front, if you ask me. But it can happen if he wants to position the car perfectly and the car in front is, yeah, compromising the line again. It's so tight, it's so close, so there's no, I wouldn't say bad intention, but it can happen at any time now.
It's racing. Everyone's trying to get whatever positions they can and whatever points they can. And you start to see the front 4 of this pack are nice and square. McDonald and Hegarty behind them side by side. They're going to be going into this. And can Hegarty do this? He cannot. Another attempt around the outside. Well, hang on one second. Let's just put this back again. Nope, he can't. He holds on. You're not missing anything at the front, because these cars are just absolutely going hell-bent for leather. And a save there again by Peter McCann.
Yeah, and that also shows how hard they are pushing. Any mistake can cost you like, I don't know, 5 positions if it goes very badly.
There is that mistake. Yeah, there's that mistake. But here's the move we want to see. Rory O'Shea trying to get past Sean McGoldrick. Nobody could get past McGoldrick last week. Got Line Rock in the feature. Maybe now this is the moment. And if you notice, McGoldrick isn't doing the same fighting that Jordan Kelly was doing. Kelly's still 3 seconds behind this lot. It's going to be tough for him with 9 minutes left in the race to try and do this. Around they go. Rory O'Shea still looking for a move out of Williams. He's going to set himself up. He had a great run at the last corner. Look for the outward curves because he may be able to get a run down into the hairpin corner.
That will show how racy he is tonight, McGoldrick, because if he overtakes now, leaves him the space, then he could save P2, or does he want to win?
Does he want to win? We'll wait and see. We just see a car in the background go around. I believe that was Peter McCann getting spun around in the background. We'll look at that in a minute, because around the outside will be Rory O'Shea, and it may not be the same driver, but he's managed to get this working this time. And a tap, there they come together. And has he managed to hold it? Just managed to hold it, but everyone has to go around the outside of him. And where is these drivers? Kelly trying to get the advantage there and manages it. How on earth did they save that?
Yeah, some autocross here, going from the asphalt through the dirt, through the gravel, through the grass, and it's not always ice racing out there if you have a car like the Toyota.
Well, McGoldrick went from P1 to P4, but somehow he's still in the race. We're going to have a replay of what we just saw and everything else as well, because like I said, we did see McCann having a moment, but let's just get to this first. Kelly going to get past Evan Walsh, and this is going to be crucial. If Kelly gets past Walsh with no problems, the chains have been released, and he has 3 seconds to catch up to Rory O'Shea. Cool, calm, collective goes Jordan Kelly. He has that position, and now we can look at these replays, and I believe we're going to be starting first. Yep, this is the Jordan Kelly. Look at this.
Oh.
How do you...
done.
Yeah, how do you set yourself up for that? And then he's still fighting. He's gone on the grass. How do you know? Because you know the car yourself. That car is snapping. He's fighting to keep the car alive, and Kelly comes to it, and he's setting yourself up for one position, and the car has to go to the other way. How do you set yourself up to make such a late adjustment there?
It was the right decision in the right moment, a split second later, and the correction would have been maybe so big it would have ended in a spinner, so he could correct it, straight it out, and go back on the track.
Well, Gandor now, he's looking to try and see if he can make one of those moves as well. On the side fender cam, here we go. Get to see some Father Ted images in front, and that's probably not what he wants to see at the moment. Gandor wants some clean air. He wants to see everything. But if he gets past Hegarty, he has to try and get past McDonald. It's tough to get past 2 cars in one go in these Toyotas, let alone at Okayama. It's going to have to be a bit of a drive here for Gandor. He's already made up 4 places, though.
We have seen like O'Shea did the move around the outside, had his car in the revolver on the inside. And yeah, that can happen again, maybe also with 3 cars here in the hairpin.
Oh, 3 wide. 3 wide. And they have continued to fight. That these guys have been fighting. Remember that first lap incident? These 3 have been battling. Who says that if you get to the back of the field, it doesn't matter? These guys are having their own little fight. It's for pride. It's Tony Stack at the front of this. Albert Reid in the middle. Ian May at the back. He may have the number 1 in his car. Ian May wants to be the number 1 in this pack. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, looks very good, and it's always great for all racers to have their battles in such a 20-minute race. Have, guys around them to race with, instead making it an, I would say, advanced time trial.
Yeah, and now this is the racing as well, trying to get more positions in the top 10. Gandor side by side with Hegarty. He has that inside, and he has such the ease here on the inside. I don't think Hegarty's going to contest it. He is not. He's going to look for some sort of switchback. He cannot. And these battles in the midfield have been fantastic, because you get past one, and right ahead of you is somebody there. You're not having to fight it back like what we saw with Kelly and O'Shea. We've got to keep that gap, though, because I was talking about that. It's great timing. Look at it. 2 seconds now. Don't say nothing yet. There's 4 minutes left in the race, Sebastian. Can he make that 2 seconds up?
If I'm not mistaken again, I think he scrapped off 1/10 around, like after he did the overtake on
Oh,
Walsh.
no.
Oh, no.
No. Peter McCann there just catching up with Tony Stack, I believe that was. And unfortunately, yeah, he's waiting as well for that. Some nice little respect there. Not what you want to see in the battles. Ian May there now coming by as well. They're in that little battle. I'd love to see, well, actually, I can see myself time the lap comparisons for the leaders, because Kelly took another 4 tenths away from Rory O'Shea last time by. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. There's 3 laps left, including this one.
Yeah, maybe it could work out, but it will be very, very close. So O'Shea has the best cards in his hands if he just keeps it clean and keeps his pace.
Keep it clean. That's what he's trying to do. Keeping his nose dry. Don't need to put it in any of the powder for your face makeup here. Gandor in this little pack. In the front car that's on its own there is McDonald. Sorry, it's more sorry, as McDonald takes a very interesting line on the outside to Gandor. I think he's been caught out here. Just manages to hold on to Hegarty. I think that was a nice little bait there from McDonald, using what he could on Moore. It managed to catch them up to Moore, but at the same time, they're now battling for 4 cars, and this is a battle for P7 between the 4 of them.
And he tries to make the move. Makes it very narrow there on the entry, which also takes, he made it difficult for himself, and now he's spinning.
And just catching the back of Wei Feng there, and manages to not get too much of issues. It's lap 10 of 12. That gap is 1.9 seconds. I'm just looking at these lap times. 45.9 for O'Shea, 45.5 for Kelly. I'd love to see the lap comparisons, because it has been closing like that little battle there we saw. But this is Rory O'Shea, and he can see him now in the background. That gap is now less than 1.8 seconds.
And you say we have 2 laps to go?
It'll be 2 laps to go, yeah. Look at that. The last 3 laps, he has shaved off over a second and almost a second and a half. And actually, if you look at it, only lap 7 was the closest, and I think that was when there was a little bit of traffic. It's going to be tight. We have to look to see what the gap is on the final lap, because if it's less than a second, we've got to talk about it. But I don't think there's enough time for Kelly to make that move.
But here's a move which can and may and will happen, but it ends up into a mistake.
Yeah, Ronan Dossey there going to be losing that position to Adam Dowling. Now again, we go to Cuba next week. That's where you do the drifting. Unfortunately, just sliding the rear out there with that battle. And now he's in trouble, because he will get caught up by Robert Moore, who's still got Hegarty with him. And those 3 cars continue to battle on. In fact, you actually see McDonald's having to go on at the defense straight away. And 3 cars taking 3 different lines, not side by side. That's not one you see normally. McDonald holds on. Hegarty loses out, though, with some very interesting moves there.
Yeah, he moved over and took the inside line, because, you can't go side by side then from the outside. So it was a smart move for the final lap now.
Yeah, final lap. That gap is now a second. I don't think Kelly's got this. I think Kelly has run out of the time here. The sands of time are ticking down, and they are coming for him, and he's not going to make it on the rear camera. That gap is less than a second, but you cannot make up a second going into this final straight, and it's the longest straight outside the start-finish line. If he can't get close enough here, I think that is all she wrote for Jordan Kelly.
I would agree, but maybe he has a little Danny Rick in himself. Let's see if he can make it around the last corner.
Let's see what he decides to do. Rory O'Shea goes into the braking for the hairpin corner for the final time. It's not clean. He's made a mistake. He's lost 3 tenths because of it. He's having to get himself now. The nerves kicking in here, and around they go now. That's half a second. Into Piper they go. One last time, and now Rory O'Shea must be feeling the sweat. If he's not feeling the sweat, it must be for the hot night in Ireland. Again, another mistake as he hits the Redmond corner, and all of a sudden Kelly is there. Kelly is looking. They come around to Hobbs. Now, can he hold on to this? He's having to compromise his exit, but he's faster coming out there. Mike Knight corner. Can he just hold on to this? The gap is fluctuating between 5 tenths and 6 tenths. And finally, Rory O'Shea, in the way he did not expect it, gets past Jordan Kelly for one race on the night. He will take the feature race victory away from Jordan Kelly. Evan Welsh behind will be looking at a P3. Sean McGoldrick will take that 4th, and then Adam Dowling will take the 5th.
And good for Goldring that he still seems happy for his P4 after the incident with O'Shea. So yeah, happy Mr. Goldring.
Tony Stack is just going to be finishing off here as well. And he was so close to Ian May. Great little battles in the back of the field between these drivers as they made their own recovery and just made the entertainment themselves. Stack will come home in the 13th position, and I believe that sums up his night there. Ian May will come 12th. Albert Reid will take the 14th, and then Ronan Henneman will be 16th as he comes across the line. He'll come across the line. That will record all 16 cars, and we're going to take a very sweet break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with results and interviews. Well, everyone got your breath back after those 3 crazy races? I have just. Let's go over those results, because Rory O'Shea getting past Jordan Kelly. Granted, he got that from the start and managed to make the moves through the race. Evan Welsh finished in 3rd. He made up some really good positions. And Sean McGoldrick was leading for a good quarter of the race, and just one mistake cost him, and he finishes in 4th. Adam Dowling comes home in 5th position. And Ronan Doherty makes a very nice drive up into 6th. John McDonald was unlucky. 4 places lost there in 7th. And then Robert Moore will be in 8th. Sean Hegarty will take 9th. And Chan Wing Bei will take 10th. And Sebastian, what's that second page looking like?
Jamal Gander on 11th place. Ian May on 12th. Tony Stack, still with all the stuff going on 13th. Albert Reid on 14th. Ronan Hederman on 15th, and Peter McCann, closes up in P16s the result for the feature.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting because the same 3 guys that we've interviewed before, they're back again. So let's get the winner in this time. I'm going to run down the pit lane and find myself a Rory O'Shea. And Rory, you didn't really have much battles with Jordan this race, but you managed to get the victory. But that last lap, it looked like he was breathing down your neck. Was there a little bit of nerves at the end of that race?
I think maybe anyone would be nervous. Someone like Jordan tracking you down. Like, I felt maybe the tires were going off a little bit as well. Maybe Jordan wasn't suffering from that as much, but I was going as quick as I could, but he was just reeling me in. Like, he was so quick.
Yeah, you were talking about the tires, because I didn't ask any of you last time by, but I've got to ask. We started the night 53 Celsius track temp. I think it got down to about 46. How do you adjust it there? Because the last couple of weeks have been a little bit cooler, but to go from something that hot, that's really got to change up your steering movements.
Yeah, it really does. You just have to be so much more careful. You can't be constantly pushing. You kind of need to take everything into account, how driving like that and pushing hard will affect your race further down the line now, so you have to be careful.
So you get a P2, you get a P2, you get a P1. You almost get the maximum points for the evening, but it is what it is. That looks like you may be taking a provisional lead in the championship after what happened to Peter McCann. Next week, it is the tight Tsukuba circuit. What are you expecting, and what are we expecting to see from you next week?
Well, it's a track I probably have a lot of experience on, but I think anything can happen around Tsukuba. It's a fairly chaotic track, so I think we'll have to see, because I don't know. Even if you're really quick, something out of your control can happen. So we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Rory, as I always say, you are the feature race winner. The floor is yours for any shout-outs you would like.
Yeah, as always, just want to shout out my team, Hyper SimRace City, and all the guys there, and as well actually just RTA and everyone who organises the race here. They all do a fantastic job, and it's really, really fun.
Well, Rory, congratulations on that victory and a good night. I think everyone can say that's a job well done. Rory O'Shea, the winner of the feature race there. And I think we're going to get P2, which is Jordan Kelly, will be coming in very shortly. And Jordan, the question I've got to ask before anything is, that start, we know you have struggled with the start, but that looked like a very chaotic start to the race, full stop.
Yeah, Rory got a mega launch. I don't know, he done the most perfect first lap I've ever seen, so fair play to him for that. And I just got held up then with a few people, but no, it was a good. It's always good chasing the bone. I like it anyways. Just trying to do qualifying laps every lap and stuff, but unfortunately there wasn't another lap to have a wee battle with Rory. But fair play to Rory for a good controlled drive there.
I've got to ask, that moment when you've got McGoldrick having a spin and then the car twitches between Revolver and Piper, and you have to go out on the grass, and then you still got to go battling Evan Wolf. What's going through your mind in that split-second moment? Because that was almost race over for you.
Yeah, I came around the corner and I seen Sean going forwards a wee bit, and I was thinking, oh God, because I was planning to go the same direction. So if Sean didn't get on the brakes there, it probably would have been race over. But fortunately, I just got around him and got back on track before I hit the wall. So no, it was good to avoid that now. But you don't want too many of them cars fishing towards you in the middle of a race now.
Did you think you were 1 lap short or 2 laps short? Because it looked like on that final lap, if you just had a little bit more time, you probably would have got that lead.
Yeah, I give it another lap. Could have had a wee battle maybe, but it's just the way it goes. It's hard to just get caught up. There was like 3.5 or 4 seconds, so it was. I didn't even think I could even close up because me and Evan were saying, "Oh, are you going to do the championship?" As to let Evan have an extra place, but no, it was a good wee challenge in the last few laps, that's for sure.
Well, Jordan Kelly, thank you very much. Congratulations on the 2 victories earlier in the night and a P2 in that feature race. So we go from P1 and P2, and now I think we're just going to get P3, which was Evan Walsh. We didn't really see a lot of you, Evan, but it looked like there was quite a bit of battles there, and you just lost out there with Jordan Kelly, including some very interesting moments between Revolver and Piper, we noticed.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. The first maybe 3 laps were a bit hectic, trying to push on and make some bit of a gap with lads going off around us. But yeah, it was good. I actually ended up leaving Jordan past me a couple of times, and we nearly got hit. I think Sean and Rory came together at one stage, and we nearly got collected in the aftermath of that. But I just had to let Jordan go. There was no point trying to keep him behind me for the last, I think it was 7 minutes, I'd say. So I just played it safe in the end and tried to look after 3rd position.
Yeah, you managed to look after 3rd position. Of course, that's kind of vital as well, because Evan Walsh, you've got a P3, you've got a P3, you've got a P3. Peter McCann didn't do very well tonight, so that's probably going to put you up the table here. you're losing ground to Rory O'Shea, but you're gaining ground to Pete McCann. You're still in that battle for the top 3 in the championship. How does that feel as you head into Tsukuba for next week?
Yeah, Peter is kind of my target at the minute after seeing the points from last week. I'm kind of hoping I can maybe pull ahead of him. You know, he didn't have a good night this evening, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see towards the end what way drops will work. But I think Rory at this point, he's probably too far gone maybe to be looking at him. But I'll keep tipping away, and hopefully the results stay coming.
Yeah, results keep coming in. Never say never. Evan, you're the last man for the night, so I think it's fair to say the floor is all yours if you would like any more shout-outs for the evening.
I just want to congratulate the organizer in RTA, Rob Parks. He's after getting a new position in as part of the Aer Lingus cabin crew. So I just want to congratulate him on that new job, and yourselves lads as well. Always a savage job done on commentary, and I'll be going watching the race now in the next 10 minutes to see what happened.
Yeah, you'll be watching it. I don't think they will have it in the in-flight entertainment, but I'm sure we can ask them later on. That's Evan Welch. 3 P3s on the night, keeps his championship run going. And that will do it for us for the evening. I'm going to go watch some sumo later, being we're in Japan. But until then, a thank you to the team at Sebastian, Daniel, and Dougie. Now make sure to check out all our social medias, our websites, our merchandise store. Everything listed on the screen. If I was Jake right now, I'd be also plugging June's lovely Bandcamp stuff. Please check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will not miss another moment because here are all the races coming up this week. But the important thing, of course, next Tuesday, we are back at Tsukuba. We're still in Japan. It's going to be fantastic. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, race clean, race hard, and we will see you on the track.